I don't think it's a secret to anybody working in the ag industry how big of a problem we have in the ag industry with family farms going out of business every single year. On an annual basis, we have anywhere from 100 to 1,000 family farms literally going out of business every single year. Some of them are multi-generational. Some of them are the first generation that the next generation will never get to experience life growing up on the family farm. And if you grew up in the ag industry, you know that's one of the biggest things that we want to hold on to is those values that we all achieve when you grow up on the family farm. And inside today's video, I'm going to talk to you about 3 different things that lead to the cause of failing farms happening inside of this country. So one common thing that we've seen working with hundreds of family farms over the past 5 years inside the Legacy Farmer, and then also talking to thousands of family farm operations on the phone, is that a majority of them are scared to face the truth or the facts inside of their operation. Now, looking at this, just first point here, you may be wondering, like, why would people be scared of looking at the truth inside their operation? Because the truth exposes weaknesses, right? And if you're a man specifically, and you've been running the farm operation for a long time, men have pride and they have egos as well. And getting exposed of your faults, your weaknesses, or your poor management or business decisions inside of the operation, that's something a lot of people, they're not comfortable with. But at the end of the day, if you are not willing to face the truth or the facts inside the operation and fix these holes, right? Fix these leaks. It is no surprise to us when we ask people on the phone when they're applying to be a part of Legacy Farmer, how much money do you feel is leaking out the bottom of your operation? Same answer comes across pretty commonly, always easy 100 grand. Easy 100 grand. Why is that? Because I operate in financial chaos and disorganization, and I'm not tracking my numbers at the way that I need to be. The thing is, like, looking at that, okay, great. How much would 100 grand a year be for your operation? How many problems would that solve? How much further ahead would you be if you were just having the willingness to face the truth and the facts, ask for help, understand that you're going to get exposed, your weaknesses are going to get exposed, but understand though, in that time frame though, where you're going through all that pain and that struggle and trying to build out these things, and again, getting your weaknesses exposed over and over again, that's where growth really happens. And we've seen this time and time again, not just with the customers in Legacy Farm, but even me and my own personal journey of growing businesses and stuff over the years. It is in that painful period of when you get exposed and your weaknesses get exposed where growth actually happens, and you actually level up as a business owner, which means you're going to be able to level up the business and taking it to the place where you always wanted it to go. The next problem or mistake that we see a lot of family farms making before they come into Legacy Farmer is up to this point, they haven't been willing to adapt or change. Now, for a lot of the younger generation, most of those people are going to be willing to adapt and change, but it's honestly, there's this conflict between the older generation and the younger generation to where, again, the older generation, you know as well as I do, they are going to control a majority of the assets. So at the end of the day, what they say goes. This is where we're getting that conflict because you have the younger generation coming back. They're excited. They're happy to be back. They're ready to take the operation to a new level, but they keep hitting this wall. And that wall is the older generation saying, yeah, I get that's a great idea, but this isn't the way that we've done it the past 30, 40, or 50 years. So no, and thank you. And we're just going to do it the way we want to do it. We run into massive problems there. And honestly, with that type of mindset, though, the business is going to die long-term. So if you're the older generation and you were watching this video, I'm going to challenge you to be open and willing to adapt and change, because when we adapt and change and we test different things, we implement different systems and processes, we get some of those weaknesses exposed and stuff like that. A lot of the things that we try may not work great. That's totally fine, right? And that's the biggest fear that we have as business owners, is trying things that aren't ultimately going to work. But guess what? Out of 10 things that you try, you only need 1 or 2 to work. Right? Those 1 or 2 are going to be the pivotal things that actually move the business forward and really open up your mind as a business owner to adapt and change and really be looking for these additional opportunities there. If you are so closed-minded, and it doesn't matter even if you try the 10 things, if you are not open to just seeing what happens, right? And testing things out, knowing that deep down you can't stay doing what you've always done. If you're not willing to test those things there, the business will eventually die, because what worked 30, 40, 50 years ago dang sure doesn't work today, and it's dang sure not going to work in the year 2060 or 2080. Things are changing from generation to generation pretty drastically, and if the business does not evolve and adapt and change with them, it's going to die. And that's just a guarantee. And that's what we're seeing over and over today with these hundreds, if not thousands, of family farms that are going out of business every single year. The next mistake here that we see a lot of family farm operations making is they're not willing to make the uncomfortable decisions, because a majority of them, like you probably watching this video, are working inside a family farm operation where their decisions or what they want to do is going to either positively or negatively impact other people in the business. Now, the thing is, though, is that when the business is facing a lot of problems, sometimes we have to take 2 steps back in order to take 4 steps forward, right? And those 2 steps back there, that is what makes people freeze, and they don't want to do anything, because those 2 steps back are the hard, uncomfortable decisions where they are exposing the gaps and talking about, hey guys, we have to adapt and change. We have to do things differently. We have to find information and answers to the problems that we're currently facing. Otherwise, the third generation or the fourth generation or whatever generation you are is not going to get to experience this life of growing up on the farm because it is not going to be here for them. It's those first two steps that we're actually taking back inside the operation, trying to get everybody on the same page. But also, if you're the leader in the operation, I'm just going to tell you this, you're always going to be a bad guy. So welcome to being the leader. Everything you say, there could be people in the operation that definitely agree with it. There's always going to be somebody that finds the negative in it, right? And that's just, again, that may not be for every operation, but I'm telling you from working with people over the years and stuff like that, it's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, they're going to get pushback from their family. They're going to get pushback from their siblings or whoever else is involved in the operation when they try to change the operation. We have to get through that in order to take those big jumps forward inside of the business. And so you just have to be willing as a leader to make those uncomfortable decisions that people may not like, but are best for the business long term. Those are the true characteristics of a leader. Sacrificing now so that long term, the business grows and evolves to support and be able to pass on successfully to the next generation, whatever your goals are there. But deep down, that you can't stay where you're at. So if you're in this position and you're the leader inside the operation, or you're the up and coming leader, meaning you're in your 20s or 30s and you're working with the older generation, you're trying to get them to see things differently, and you're dealing with this weight and this stress and this uncertainty that you see inside the operation, you also see the writing on the wall that if things don't change, you may not have anything to take over. Or if you're the older generation and now watching this video here, you understand why the younger generation is telling you that they want to look at these things here, and you've kind of had these walls around you, right? And said, nope, we're not going to do that because at the end of the day, it's your life's work that they're wanting to put at risk. I'm just going to challenge you to open up your mind here a little bit and look for the possibilities of what could happen if we did change, what could happen if we decided to adapt and implement some new systems or processes and really get this thing fine-tuned, and what kind of things could happen long-term, right? What could this thing really grow into, and could it go on multiple generations if we just adopted this mindset of, hey, we adapt, we change as a family farm operation so that we can always stay on top of our game and be moving forward with the world around us, the business world, that this isn't any secret to you, but it's constantly changing and evolving on a day-to-day basis. And again, what worked 50 years ago is not going to work today. What worked today is not going to work 50 years from now. So we have to be open and willing to do this. So if you're that older generation, I'm pushing you to be open and willing. If you need help, guys, implementing all these systems, right, and really going through, hey, we got to take 2 steps back in order to take those big leaps forward there. And in order to take those big leaps forward, you have to be doing different things inside the business. Maybe for you, that's plugging the financial leaks. Those are one of the things there, and just one part of our process in Legacy Farmer, where we've helped all of our customers really master their finances so that we can plug those leaks, and we're not just carelessly losing 100, 200 grand every single year outside the operation, just eating away at the equity inside of your balance sheet. Now, if you want help with any of those things there, click on the link below, schedule a call with our team, and we'll talk about how you can take the systems and processes that we've proven out inside of Legacy Farmer, implement them into your operation, and build the operation that you can successfully pass on to the next generation.